Hello and welcome to a very special conversation with David Miller. Every time the Gujarat Titans bat, and whatever the opposition scores, as long as this man is around, the match is on. Look at the 20 ball 50. Look at the confidence. Look at the ability of the man to win one T20 game after another, not for this particular franchise only, but across the world. And you know that he's special. David, first question. Is there any target now when you go into bat that seems insurmountable, or anything is possible? Any amount of runs can be scored, and now the strike rate is something that is sort of ingrained in you, that I can score at 200 no problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, I've been playing for some time now, and I think the game has adapted and evolved so quickly, especially this RPL particularly. I mean, you see the scores going to 270, 280, 260, a lot more regularly we're getting over 200. So I think just, the game is moving quick and fast. And I suppose as a batter, you've got to stay with the times. So it's just about making sure that, you're backing yourself and really making sure that you're in good positions to be able to clear the rope and take on the bowlers. I mean, I really enjoy it. Obviously, the previous game we were pretty close, lost the game, but nice to put some runs on the board and obviously get the strike rate nice and high. So yeah, it's just something that I've obviously worked on for years and years, and just continue. You want consistency. You're never really gonna get it right every time, but the more you do, the more enjoyable it is.
What explains this transformation, David? Because all of a sudden I see 250 being chased down, being scored regularly. What explains the transformation of this game? I mean, at times it seems that the bowlers are being taken out of the equation. Has the game actually changed for good, you reckon? Or it's the IPL, again, when the World T20 starts, things will be back to 180, 200?
Yeah, look, I think there's been a lot of talk about the impact player, and it's obviously made a lot of probably a big difference in the mindset of batters. So that's probably one aspect, and then yeah, I mean it's quite a difficult one because I mean the wickets are really good, the boundaries are relatively small here, but I think just the mindset of the batters overall have just been has been lifted. I think the batters are really on a different realm. One or two guys have really taken it to storm, and a lot of the batters have sort of realized, this is possible. So it does become difficult for the bowlers. But yeah, I suppose it's an opportunity for the bowlers to work on executing a lot better, coming up with different plans. And yeah, I mean, it is difficult. I mean, let's face it. The scores are a lot higher this year. So, I mean, I think the impact rule has probably made a big difference. But yeah, the mindset of the batters have changed.
When I watch this IPL, David, and in particular somebody like you come into bat without even one ball trying to get yourself in, you can get going. First, second ball, 6, 20 ball, 50. Again, I refer to that. When I see someone like a Travis Head, when I see someone like a David Miller, and then I think, okay, but we grew up watching an anchor bat. Do you think that kind of batting has gone out now, and anyone, however good a player, whether you are a Virat Kohli, whether you are a Rohit Sharma, whether you are a David Miller, you have to now adapt to this new style? Is this the new formula in T20 cricket?
Look, I think I've mentioned to a few people, obviously being adapted to different situations. I think it's all very well saying, okay, these guys have scored 280, 270, 260, big scores. You can't do that every game. I think it does depend on conditions. It does depend on the bowling attacks on the day itself. You may play the same team the next day and only score 190. So I think it just depends on the day, and I suppose just recognizing that moment is, if that is the moment, then you go all the way to 250, 260 like we've seen. But I think it's just making sure that you kind of adapt on the day, and yeah, for me personally, I like to actually just give myself one or two balls just to see what's going on. I mean, obviously I bat middle order, so I kind of see the game unfolding I see if the ball's turning, if it's staying low, if it's, stopping a bit. So I kind of know that, but it's different when you're actually facing the ball. So just to give myself, a couple balls to get going, just to feel it, see what's going on. And then from there, you kind of can accelerate, accordingly to the conditions. So I think it's very dependent on the day and conditions, and opposition.
Talking about leadership, David, again, I mean, I see yourself being part of that overall leadership group in the Gujarat Titans. I was very impressed when the management, and I had multiple chats with Arvinder Singh to sort of give Shubman Gill the captaincy. There were other options, but to invest in a young Indian future star. And I've been very impressed with Shubman's captaincy also. A word on that?
Yeah, he has been. I mean, obviously, still, like all of us, we still, can improve in so many different areas. But I think, like for him, he's got a really bright future ahead of him. He's an incredible player, as we all know. So, I mean, he's been able to lead the team as well as put on the runs on the board. So he's done really well in contributing towards the team scores. But as a leader, yeah, I mean, he leads from the front in performance. That's how I see it. He's not one that rams information down everyone's throats, in the team meetings. He's quietly spoken, but, when spoken, then, people listen. So I really enjoyed that about him. And like I mentioned, the world's his oyster, and it's just basically still a lot to learn through the process. And I think he's got a lot of great things going for him.
The kind of form you are in, and when I see Gujarat Titans, I see David Miller as the pivot. I do. And I've said that. I mean, as long as you are there, there's a chance. When I see a Henry Klaassen, when I see a Quinton de Kock, I see Tristan Stubbs, and all of a sudden I see a South African team. Wow. I mean, do you reckon that this IPL will set you up for the World T20?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've spoken quite a bit about the IPL and all the different leagues around the world, what a lot of the South African guys are being a part of. It only can grow someone as a cricketer. We're very fortunate for a lot of the guys playing in the different leagues and, playing different conditions, testing themselves out in all these different conditions, and it only benefits the players. So, I mean, obviously strength is there. I mean, the guys have done really, really well. Tristan Stubbs has performed exceedingly well. So I really enjoy watching him play, and also in the field, he can keep, he can bowl, he can field. So great options there. And then, yeah, I mean, it is a powerhouse team, and exceptionally talented players, bowlers, batters. We've got it all. But then you look at all the other teams, a lot of other international players and teams, they've also got it all. So I think it always boils down to just making sure that, we kind of peak at the right time and play good cricket. I mean, obviously this last World Cup wasn't ideal result in the semi-final, but I thought we played a brand of cricket that we want to be a part of. And we were really consistent in that game plan. And that's what I see this next World Cup, the opportunities of playing out the cricket that we want to. And if we can do it more often than not, hopefully we get to the final and we win it.
And coming back to the Titans, I mean, one person who has been much talked about is Ashish Nehra. Shubman spoke about it in some of his public interviews, and I've sort of covered Ashish as a player, seen him grow, then sort of flower as a top quality fast bowler. Now I see him as a coach. As a senior member and as a leader in that team, can you tell me a little bit about Ashish Nehra, his coaching and his impact?
Yeah, as an overseas, I've really enjoyed him. I think he's super chilled. Kind of just makes everyone feel comfortable. He's someone that is incredibly knowledgeable about the game. He knows the game really well. He understands it from tactically, all these kind of things. Obviously, he played a long career, so comes with a lot of experience. But I think manages players really well. He gives a lot of time for the youngsters as well as the senior players. Gets around the guys in so many different ways, different times of the day. Whether it's at the pool, where it's coffee shop, where it's breakfast, at training, he kind of gets around everyone, which is a great gift. I've always said that. So, Yeah, I've really enjoyed him. Good energy, loves the game, very passionate about it, and yeah, I really enjoy beating him on the golf course as well.
Last question. To be able to finish games, MS Dhoni, David Miller, this is a special talent, absolute special talent to be able to finish games for a team, to be able to soak in the pressure, go and deliver. Talk to me about that. Profound finisher now. If I name one of the top finishers in the world, your name has to come there. Have you sort of consciously, mentally perfected this skill? Tell me about David Miller, the finisher.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I mean, I've been around for some time now, so you live and you learn. I've made a lot of mistakes, and so will I make many more. But I think the one thing for me is kind of continually learning. I always want to have an open mind. Always, like I mentioned, this year the IPL has kind of gone to another level with runs, and the game is constantly moving forward and evolving. So if you as a player are not evolving and adapting and willing to learn, take things on board as your career evolves, then you're never going to grow. So constantly learning. I would say probably just making sure that you learn from your mistakes, and always wanting to improve. Staying calm under pressure, and I feel like that comes with experience. It comes with being secure in your game, in your place, in your position as a player. All that comes with time. So, yeah, I mean, I really enjoy the challenge of overcoming a certain, situation in the game, trying to work out the equations and what we need, what we don't need, when to do it, when not to do it, working with the partner on the other end. So all these little things, you kind of put it together, and try and do it. And like I say, when you do it and you win a game in a position of strength, then it's a great reward. So for me, I love the challenge. It's the competition, the competitiveness that keeps me coming back, and wanting to get better and better. But yeah, just trying to stay calm under the pressure. I think like a lot of times people are like, oh, you're so calm and whatever, but there's a lot of nerves, there's a lot of things going on inside. So it's just about making sure that you putting this body language, good presence, all the cliche kind of things. But I think over time you kind of deal with these things a lot better, and you think clearly and you make better decisions.
I'll end there. David Miller, all I will say is very best to you, the Gujarat Titans. All the very best for this particular campaign and, of course, in the World Cup. Look forward to having you back in India many more times because you're good for the game. And our youngsters seeing you around will learn. That's what will strengthen the foundation of Indian cricket going forward, which is the essence of the IPL. And I put on record, thanks for the Gujarat Titans management for allowing me to do this and exploring some questions with David Miller. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.